Roll it.
What's poppin'? What's dropping? It's your boy live and direct, absolute full effect out the 832. Y'all already know how I do. This is the second part of Let's Draw Surfer / live and direct with Craig Smith out the 662. Y'all already know how I do. To those people, we had a little severe thunderstorm warning out here in the Houston metropolitan area, to where it knocked off my Comcast internet signal. And it got to the point to where I had to redo the live stream at this particular time. Craig had made an announcement on his show. And y'all got to show my boy Craig Smith some more motherfucking love, man. How the fuck this motherfucker still sitting at 50 goddamn subscribers? Y'all motherfuckers gotta show this nigga some love, man. All the time this nigga talk his shit. You know what I'm saying? Bring big hits and bring dropping signs, and y'all know 50 subscribers. Y'all gotta do better than that. If y'all fuck with me, y'all gotta fuck with him too, goddammit. You know what I'm saying? We don't always agree, but y'all gotta fuck with my boy up in this motherfucker, man. Real talk up in this shit, yo. But what we gonna talk about, man, today, man? Let's get to that, man. What we gonna talk about, Craig?
Man, what's going on, y'all? And again, if apologize for the background noise because I'm on location. I'm up here sitting up here chilling in a local Starbucks trying to do some eye candy. What we're going to talk about today, man, we're going to finish talking about these national semifinals because we were talking about Virginia and Auburn until Jimmy got knocked off, and then we was going to give our take on who we think going to win the national title. We also got some fan questions in regards to what our opinion was the best and the worst Final Four was in my opinion, in our opinion. And we got some date, and someone is asking for some dating advice, kind of, from us. Also, we're going to address this Paul. We're going to address Paul the delusional Pierce's comments about D Wade and a whole host of other topics. So let's get back on the topic at hand. We was discussing Virginia and Auburn before we got knocked out. And, we both, Jimmy and I, we both agreed that it was a good game. A good game that had to be marred by controversy. Now, when you factor in, and Jimmy and I has gone on record several times and expressed our disdain for Virginia's lack of offense, but they're a good defensive team. I think Virginia had did their homework more than Bruce Pearl. Then I think Virginia did their homework more on Auburn than anybody, because Auburn is known to go lights out for high octane dribble drive with their offense, but predicated off 3-pointer, and then with a little sprinkles to it. Now Virginia shut them down in their first half because they went 3 of 15 in the first half on threes before the first half even ended. So they was playing some good ball, which forced Bruce Pearl's hand to pound it inside, which is not a good idea against Virginia if you ain't got a center. But overall, it was a great game, marred by the fact that old boy from Auburn traveled, and let alone dude from Virginia had that double dribble violation that could have gave Auburn the ball right back. And also, the guy missed those crucial free throws. I don't know if he was just nervous or he just probably just said 2 tears and duck it, fuck
it. And like I say, Auburn had a chance to win that game, and they should have won that game. I think the double dribble could have been called, or the double dribble could have been reviewed. Any questionable play should have been reviewed. I mean, I think basketball period got to do a better job of reviewing plays. I mean, it shouldn't take till you get to 2 minutes. I think it should be more like inside 5 minutes of the game, because especially if it's a close game. If it's a game that's out of reach, I think they shouldn't do anything. But if it's a game within striking distance, I think everything should be reviewed within 5 minutes, especially if it's still within striking distance. So, Auburn did a good job. They did the best they can toward the end. But again, you cannot play into Virginia's hands like that, because they're stepping all baseline drives. They stopped all dribble drives for the most part until they started getting into foul trouble or getting close to foul trouble. So with Auburn, I think next year they need to get a big man. They need to go somewhere and get them a big man. The guy they got, he's only 6'8", the so-called center they got out of Atlanta. Aki Bola, I think his name. I'm not going to try to pronounce that dude's name because his name is killing me right now. But I can just call him Aki Bola. He's one of the top recruits out of the Atlanta area. They got a couple of African guys that's coming out there, but they're relatively small. I'm like, dude, you need to go to one of those tribes and get one of those 7'2" Negroes that's gonna be like, you stay right there at the hall. You block everything that comes in here. Do not let him get a basketball in here. You know what I'm saying? So, you got it. I mean, shit. Look at what's my dude name at Florida State, man? He got him about 2 African dudes that 7-footer.
Mm-hmm.
Now you stayed right.
I think them cats coming back too, man.
One of those cats ain't coming back. The 7'4" guy, he's not coming back. But I think the 3-point shooter, the one that be shooting all the threes, he's coming back.
Yeah.
He like, you stay at the hall. You know what I'm saying? I cannot let you in this house. You crazy ass nigga. Get that shit out of here. You know, block it, being him a trouble. You get that shit out of here, you black ass nigga. But anyway, he needs a center though. Real talk.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, because if really you need to, and by the way, one of the fan questions, it was a Mark Few question in there. I will get to the fan questions in a minute, but I do agree. Yeah, Pearl need to get him a big man, and I think Rick Barnes need to get him one too.
Yeah,
because I mean, you gotta. I mean, now you know, speed is basically trumping power. You know. Whereas in the days you had the old, in college basketball, you had the old smash mouth and stuff like that. You know, now everybody's following the football example. No huddle, RPO, and all this other little stuff. You haven't, you know, I think the dribble drive offense is basically the new RPO, is the RPO version of offense in basketball. But if some of these coaches can blend old school with new school, I mean, they'll be straight.
Yeah.
Now, Texas Tech and Michigan State, I'm very disappointed in the latter, and I'm more shocked I'm shocked yet impressed with the former. I did not see the game, but you know, looking at dribs and drafts and highlights, and then from reading what comments what Michigan State fans are saying, Spartans did not. They said basically the Spartans just didn't show up. They just is like, forget it, we here, we ain't gotta play. That's how a couple of Michigan State fans were feeling, you know. But I think Michigan State, even though they had a good season, let's just be honest here. If we got anybody that are Michigan State fans or watch college basketball, may agree. When it comes to Michigan State, hey, Tom Izzo lets us down in the crucial moments. I mean, he really does. I mean, yeah, he almost gave, and I'm put it like this. I feel Duke gave Michigan State a mulligan.
Yeah, I agree.
They gave Michigan State a mulligan, man. Cause Paul Pierce, man. Paul Pierce. We're talking about. We gonna get on your ass in a minute. But Duke Tom Izzo was given a mulligan by Duke. Cause as talented as his teams is every year, I mean, they shouldn't have no business losing second round games and all this other little stuff. Games they ain't got no business losing. I mean, here they was in the regular season. They lost to an Indiana team that didn't even get it. I don't even think they got in the tournament this year. They lost to them twice. And I think one of them was a blowout at home.
Yeah.
So I mean, Izzo gonna have to get with it next year, and his players definitely going to get with it next year. Who he recruits. I mean, he got him, and basically, when you look at it, Jim, he got the guard, he got the whatever his name, Cash or somebody, whatever that guy's name is. He got the point guards, he got the forwards, he got a couple stretch bigs in there. Hell, he even got a center that can pop, that can go in and out. So, what's the problem?
Well, the thing Izzo is a regional recruiter guy. Is a regional recruiter. You know what I'm saying? And really, to be honest with you, with him being in Michigan and being on the border states of Illinois and the border states of Ohio in that Midwest corridor, he doesn't really have to go too far outside of his corridor, and that has worked for him. You know what I'm saying? Because he got talent all over Michigan. Michigan is like one of the better basketball states in the country. You know, so it's one of those things. He doesn't do a lot of national recruiting. You know, and he doesn't have to, just like the guy at Villanova, even though he's gotten guys from the border states of Villanova for the most part, he don't even have to leave Philadelphia.
Hell no.
he's never really had to lead. So he's got the number 4 recruiting class, and 2 of those guys are basically Philadelphia area players.
Right.
He just had to recruit out like that. So he just built them from scratch. And you know, when they become a senior, they're always in the Final Four, which is why he has as many Final Four appearances as any coach out there. You know what I'm saying? Only a handful of coaches have more Final Four appearances. 2 of them are John Wooden and Coach K. You know, and I think Dean Smith have more Final Fours, but it's not that many coaches who have more Final Four appearances than Tom Izzo. He's getting closer to tying. You know what I'm saying? Very close.
Right.
And that's worked for him. His system, the way he recruits, has worked for him because he typically gets not McDonald's. He typically gets Mr. Basketball winners in his state. And if you're getting Mr. Basketball winners in the state of Michigan, that's pretty big because you know, you got Detroit, you got Grand Rapids, then you got Flint, Michigan. They always have basketball talent and stuff like that. And you got Saginaw, which is where Michigan State is located. So you have basketball talent all over the place out there. So
Michigan State located in East Lansing.
East Lansing, I'm sorry. So yeah, but you got basketball talent all over that state. So he hasn't really had to go out of the state unless he just really wants somebody. So, you know, he's not going to get the quote unquote big blue chip guys unless it's coming out of Detroit or one of the other cities out there and stuff like that. But with Tom Izzo had no excuse to score 51 points versus Texas Tech because he has seen the best defenses out there. I've never seen Tom Izzo. It's one thing to blow him out, but it's another thing entirely to shut him down the way Texas Tech did. And Texas Tech just slowed him down, man. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I'm thinking Tom Izzo's going to make a run. As soon as they make a run, Texas Tech be like, get over here. You're not going to go no goddamn where. So it was one of those things right there. So,
right.
A good job on Chris Beard's part. I think Texas Tech will bring the championship to Texas. So that's my personal opinion. I could be wrong about that, but I say again, the only way they're going to beat Texas Tech is they score. If they cannot score, if they think having a low scoring game is going to beat Texas Tech, you got another thing coming because Texas Tech got just as good of a defense as they do. Just as good. They got a way better offense than they do. So I'm just going to.
Who don't have a way better offense than Virginia?
Yeah, and again, you know, my boy Mike, he was like, man, why didn't they score 23 points? Because they're not trying to. They know Tom Izzo. He basically slowed the game down on purpose. Even though he sped it up in the second half and put the gas on. What you saw with the Texas Tech versus Michigan State score is very deceptive. Chris Beard can light it up. He did Memphis like that. Memphis was up by 12 in the first half and came all the way back and beat the shit out of them. Scored like 90 points on Memphis, I think they did. So the scores you see in the NCAA tournament on how well they're playing defenses, sometimes you have to slow it down against certain offenses. Because let's say Texas Tech try to get into a shooting match with Michigan. Michigan would have put up 100 points on their ass. Let's say they try to get into a scoring match with Gonzaga, which for the most part, they did a good job of every time Gonzaga get a 5-point lead, they come all the way back and shoot them for themselves back in the game. And then all of a sudden, they just pulled away in the last minutes of the game. But Texas Tech offense, contrary to what you've been seeing the last 3 or 4 games, is better than what you see on the scoreboard. They can put up points. They're not no fucking Virginia offense. You know what I'm saying? They're fully capable of running you out the gym. The thing is, playing teams like Gonzaga, Michigan State, which it's one of the hardest. Michigan State is the hardest offense to figure out because you don't know what they're going to do up and down the court. You almost got to study them like a fucking football team. I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
that's basically. I remember what I had said, and then I quoted something what Jay Billis had said. He said, Tom Izzo's offense is basically, he said, it's like trying to prepare for the New England Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
you think you're gonna think they're gonna run something one, but then you think a team is gonna think they're gonna run this type of offense they played the following week against it, but then they turn to go and try something different.
Mm-hmm. Because like Michigan State's offense, what's the closest NBA team you can see right now that has a Michigan State-like offense? I know the Cleveland Cavs, when they won the championship, they had.
Cleveland had it because they wanted Tom Izzo to coach. Matter of fact, LeBron wanted Tom Izzo to coach them in Cleveland. That wasn't gonna work.
No,
that was not gonna work. And it was a good thing. And Tom Izzo, he stood his ground a little bit with ESPN about that, man. He just told me, he just said, hey, I'm staying here at Michigan State. He said, I was just not ready for the NBA. He said, I just love when I'm coaching it. But I really did think, though, that, who was it? Who was the coach before Tyronn Lue got? Well, LeBron basically did get him fired. Who?
David Blatt.
David Blatt, yeah. David Blatt basically was running that same offense with Cleveland before LeBron let him go. And let's just keep it 1,010 because everybody's saying, LeBron quickly denied by saying, oh, I ain't had nothing to do with it. Well, if you didn't have nothing to do with it, why all of a sudden you hurried up and quickly denied it after the fact, after he was fired? Everybody knew you had a hand in it because he said, because it's been documented, he was having problems with David Blatt. So he basically created them problems with David Blatt. Let's just keep it 1,010. But I think the 2016 Cleveland Cavaliers ran that offense. But if you talk about a team, Lord have mercy. I just saw some nice little eye candy. But anyway, if you talking about somebody today, right, a team that's running it right now, nobody.
Exactly. Well,
I don't think nobody's running. Everybody's trying to run Golden State. Everybody trying to run Pop, run like Pop. Everybody trying to be something. Trying to be this and that. So and really, and to be honest with you, every NBA team is still searching for an offensive identity. Hell, I don't even know what the Lakers is trying to run. To be honest, what were they trying to run?
Yeah, well, with now I know when the first year that Tyronn Lue in there, it was a mixture of high post, a mixture of run and gun, mixture of motion. He ran like a similar. That's probably the closest I've seen. I know they got away from it the next year for sure, and tried to run. Depending on who they played, it was pretty much up tempo. Probably the closest.
Hey, come on back to earth, brother, because you was fading out there.
No, I don't think anybody runs it as good as Michigan because, like I say, Michigan runs it based on the defense or what they see up in what the point guards see up and down. Man. The Tom Izzo, who is one of the better coaches in college basketball history, man, for him to get shut down by Texas Tech defense, because he didn't seem more stifling than that, but for Texas Tech to do their job, shout out to those dudes, man. So, you got Virginia or you got Texas Tech? Who do you think are the winners?
Well, I'm gonna put it like this. I'm gonna do the wing thing again if Virginia wins.
I might eat for myself. I might get for myself.
Yeah, because I think it'll be more. Yeah, because it's gonna be more with. I think Virginia. I got Virginia, but let me say this about Virginia: if they do win, they will be one of the worst offensive laden teams in national championship history. And get ready to plug in ESPN for next season. The mantra about defense does win championships. So I think He's saying Virginia will win it. Now, here's the pretense on I'm going to do them wings again on one thing. If Virginia manages to score 80 or more points against Texas Tech, I'll do it.
Yes, because I feel like that's going to be they could possibly beat these people. The only way to beat them is they're going to have to be able to score against Texas Tech. If Texas Tech put them in a position to where they're shutting them out, they're going to have a major problem because Texas Tech offense is just Texas Tech have a good offense in their own right. So,
yeah,
you don't Texas Tech as we've been seeing throughout the year. You don't want to have a close game with them because they can play defense, they can rebound the ball, they can get second chance opportunities. So, I mean, this is so I got Tech by 7.
I got Virginia by 3.
Okay.
But like I said, if they score more than 8, and that's the line, y'all, so I want everybody to hear. Because the first time I ate that wing challenge, where I took it up on Jimmy's wing challenge, I ate croak. When I said if Virginia was able to make the Final Four, I was going to eat the wings, and lo and behold, they did. So now I would do it again. If Virginia scored more than 80 points, I'm going to do
it. Exactly.
So I'm going attack mode with these suckers this time because, I toughed it out. But on to the next man. Paul, he called himself Paul the Truth Pierce, but I call him Paul the point shaving Paul the Delusional, or Paula Pierce. He made some comments, man, that said that he had a better career than D Wade, which I think is BS. Which is the biggest bunch of BS I ever heard. Now, I don't like Miami, but I respect D Wade and I respect his game. Okay, D Wade has won how many championships? 3. He won 1 with Shaq. He won 3. He won 1 with Shaq, and he won 2 with LeBron. Okay, then turn around. Let's see. And Paul Pierce won like what? 1. He won 1. Hold on. Hold yourself. Because you gotta have a clear, you gotta speak clear to Michael Nelson. Okay. Then this fool went on record and said, and Ticket TV even acknowledged it. This man had the nerve to say, Paul Pierce now, he had the nerve to say that Dwayne Wade won 2 championships with the same players, and he won it with the same players. And then Paul Pierce said he didn't, he barely, it was something, my Paul makes a little asinine comment. Okay, Dwayne Wade had not just himself, he had Chris Bosh, he had LeBron, he had Udonis Haslem, he had Mario Chalmers. Who else this fool had? Then the man turned around, he had Dragic. Even though LeBron was long gone and before old boy from the Suns came. Okay, Paul Pierce had who? He had himself, Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, Rajon Rondo, Eddie House, Big Baby.
Right.
And you had Doc Rivers as your coach. Dwayne Wade, his first championship in 2006 had Shaq and Lonzo Mourning on his team and won his championship with who? Pat Riley as his coach. But let's be real, Stan Van Gundy need to have a piece of that championship too, because that was basically Stan Van Gundy was coaching the hell out of that team, man. Then he turned around. The 2 championships he did win, he won a championship with who? As coach, Eric Spoelstra.
Exactly.
So, and also let me add this. Dwayne Wade has never played in games to shave points. You never heard Dwayne Wade when the dude was getting jumped by a couple of guys because you're smart mouthing. And then you got beat up so bad in the receipt, you got stabbed. You didn't even defend yourself. I'm glad Paul. I'm glad and thank God that Paul survived that outcome. Let's not get that twisted. Dwayne also showed up in the games, even if they didn't matter the most. He showed up in the games when it did matter most. You never saw Dwayne Wade in a 5-game series play like shit in 4 games, and then in your 5th game when you lose, and all of a sudden you tearing the club up. But and you still getting blown out.
I'll make one exception. The only exception I'll make is when he played San Antonio, because San Antonio, Dwayne Wade did play like shit. Let's just keep that 1,010.
Okay.
Other than that, Dwayne Wade has came to show up. Other than that, you know what I'm saying. But continue, sir.
Yeah, but come on. So Paul Pierce can't talk. I've gone on record and said about how I felt about his career in Kansas. He cost Roy Williams 2 championships. Don't take my word for it. Look at the 96-94. I think it was the West Regional when they played Arizona. And look at how and look at the piss poor performance Paul Pierce had put on in the final 3 minutes of that game. And Roy Williams was hot with that man. And then turn around in the following year. It was one of, I think it was, in the year before that, he didn't do nothing. Nothing.
Oh, yeah.
So for Paul Pierce to sit there and he did say something about it, talking about he's saying that he don't deserve none of this treatment again for social media. Yes, you do. You put it out there. You put out there how silly you can be for making an asinine comment like that. For him to say that he better than D Wade and Gabrielle Union chimed in and said something about she said something about, okay, he's done more in the NBA than you have. And the quote Draymond Green, don't nobody love you like that. That's what it boiled down to it. That's all it is. So yeah, Paul Pierce, he's a good player. But when it comes to somebody in about the next 2 or 3 years, that'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer, Dwayne Wade, bottom line.
I think both is a first ballot Hall of Fame. I think Paul Pierce is the first ballot automatically.
But I don't say Wade get in before Paul will.
Well, Paul Pierce have retired before him. So I mean, unless something goes on with the Hall of Fame ballot like it is with Chris Webber, I feel like he's gonna be in the first ballot. I mean, you can't really take that away from him. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Now, he has played like shit when it came down to it in certain situations. But he's definitely not a better player than D Wade on that surface. I definitely in agreement that he's not a better player than D Wade. He can't even dream of being a better player than D Wade.
But then you're gonna complain and say he wanted the same players until like TV said you had fucking Kevin Garnett, Rajon Rondo, Eddie House, and Ray Allen, and all you got is just one title.
Mm-hmm.
He should have had about it. Now, if he say I can see if Paul Pierce won 4. Okay, maybe you can say that.
Yeah.
But dude, you won 3 titles. No, you only won 1 title. So
and the thing is, he needed a complete change in players to win those titles. I mean, they had the Miami staff had to do a 380. I mean, the Boston staff had to do a whole 380, had to get new coaches, new players to get that championship because they were like they had less than 30 wins the previous year before because but with D Wade was making playoff appearances way before Shaq came. It's just Shaq was the missing piece to that championship. D Wade was consistently in the playoffs without D Wade. Without Shaq, when Shaq left, they were still playoff contenders. They just needed a couple of pieces to add to in order to win those 2 other championships. Whereas Paul Pierce didn't make those dudes better. Paul Pierce had McCarty, had Antoine Walker before Antoine Walker allegedly did drugs. I mean, allegedly smoked crack.
Which wasn't true.
Before dude had Chauncey Billups. Dude, you had ballers on that team. We're talking about
and then turn around, he had Rick Pitino as the coach.
Yeah, you had dudes that made multiple All-Star games. You had Antoine Walker in his prime, a prime Antoine Walker, and you couldn't do nothing with that dude. Dude, get out.
And a prime Chauncey Billups.
Prime Chauncey Billups. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Get out of here, Paul Pierce. Get out of here with that. Don't get it wrong. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer, hands down. You know, he had over 26,000 points. He averaged 19 points a game, but the dude point per game average had dropped the last 4 years of his goddamn career. Really, if you include the last seasons in Boston, you can add 8 to it. But the last years of his career, his points per game average dropped. D-Wade's points per game average dropped, but it ain't dropped as significant as Paul Pierce. So still averaging 14, 16, 17, 18, 22 points a game. Whereas Paul, he just fell off the map.
And made it so bad, D-Wade was injured, he still was putting up numbers. D-Wade played hurt. D-Wade played, what was it one time? D-Wade played with it's basically stories of legend about what type of injuries this man played on, and he still had some damn good games. That's called toughness. I mean, and really, I'm going to tell you what, the one thing that D-Wade lacked that Paul Pierce, I'm put it like this. The one thing that D-Wade had, matter of fact, there's two things that D-Wade has that Paul Pierce don't. Toughness and some killer instinct. I said toughness and killer instinct.
Exactly.
So.
Because he needed to do a whole thing. Because here's what pissed me off about that entire comment. Because I have my feelings about D-Wade personally, and I'm not going to bring it up until a better time to bring that up. But as a player, because I'm going to respect you as a player. I'm not going to get in your personal business as a fan, but as a player, D-Wade was a way better fucking player than fucking Paul Pierce. Hands down. D-Wade would have probably been at 30,000 points had not the injuries occurred. Even when he came off the injuries, he was still a productive player. Even when James took over as the star of the team, the leader of the team, he was still a productive player. He was still playing at an all-star level. Whereas when they brought up Boston 3, Paul Pierce just fell off the face of the earth.
Yep. Yeah, he's still feeling salty about that, but but it is what it is. And I just said my take. Dwayne, you know, and even some of the stuff that I heard about what Dwayne Wade has done, you know, where he did in his personal life, you know, to each his own. But at times, I'm just gonna say this: you should know better. But as far as D-Wade, the player, I'm not taking nothing away from him.
Hell no.
So for Paul Pierce to say that, we got every right, every NBA fan, and of course D-Wade's wife, got every right to jump in your ass with both feet.
Respect, definitely. And we had Marcus Johnson comment as well. He was like, "Izzo's best chance at a national title." I agree. That was definitely a best chance.
That was at another one. He haven't won one since 2000. He didn't win one since 2000.
Yeah. He also talked about Virginia. He was like, it's like with Duke. He said all the close calls they've had will lead to a Texas Tech victory between 10 and 15 points. I give Texas Tech about 7 to 10. You're about right. Rhode Island upsets Kansas that was led by Paul Pierce, right from the front.
Thank you.
Jock Vaughn. And then them bitches lost to Arizona as well. You know,
Vaughn, thank you. Thank you.
And we're talking about Jock Vaughn that was coming off the bench for John Stockton. And shit like that.
I mean, I appreciate Marcus for that because that's why I said it was the year before. Because that 96-97 team that Roy Williams had the best shot at winning a national title. Because like Marcus said, you had Paula. I'm gonna get a new name. You had Paula, Rachel Friends, who really was stretched big. Because Roy Williams wanted that man to play the post, but when he said, but when Ray told him, he said, "Hey, my game more than just that. He's just watch." Scott Pollard was the one that didn't want to shoot threes. He wanted to be inside. Then you had Jacques Vaughn, and I forgot who the other guard was. that team there, man, had a better shot at contending for at least going to the Final Four, winning national title. But they ran into Mike Bibby and them, which was, I mean, because when you think about it, that Arizona team, they had Mike Bibby, Miles Simon, I forget, and them the only two dudes I know.
Maurice Dickerson,
Michael Jefferson.
They had
Michael Dickerson, yeah.
They had Michael Dickerson. They had Jason Terry coming off the bench. They had a good little squad, man, that year, man.
Yep, yeah, because Jason Terry was I think Jason Terry was a freshman. Jason Terry just got on board.
But he played significant playing time that year as well, though.
So
they killed Kentucky's full court, Rick Pitino's full court press, which they just shredded.
Most definitely. So yeah, I mean, I thank Marcus for that because Paul Pierce choked. He choked against Rhode Island in that game, and then he just didn't show up for 3 minutes. He just didn't show up. Like he had multiple brain farts, a whole bunch of farts everywhere. Because I guess he was trying hard to fart through silk. So, but we're done. I mean, we're done with that situation there with Paul Pierce. In other sport news, our boy Bret Hardy got jumped last night, man. During the WWE Hall of Fame. So he all right, man. I mean, he didn't take no. He said he was shook up a little bit. Now keep in mind, y'all, Bret Hardy survived a stroke. He survived cancer and everything else. And for this dude who WWE has pressed aggravated assault charges on him.
Yeah.
This dude had quit his regular good paying job to be an amateur MMA fighter.
Yeah.
So let me tell you all something. So when you look at the video, you're gonna notice this other wrestler named Dash Wilder, because he's the talk of the town. He got up and punched that dude straight in the face.
Right.
Because from when I was straight in the face.
Rightfully so.
Because what a lot of people don't know, I'm gonna tell y'all this. Back then, them old time wrestlers, man, if you mess around and you got if you mess around and you try to get in the ring and attack a wrestler, they got a right to attack you. They can either attack you in the ring, or if one of them say, "Hey, take him in the back. We'll handle. They're gonna whoop your ass first, then they're gonna talk to you." That's how they did it.
Exactly.
So I mean, rightfully so. That dude ain't got what he ain't got what he deserved. So much respect to Bret Hart and stuff like that, man. That's our boy. Best it was, best is, best ever will be. And he made light of the situation afterwards, and he said, and I quote, he said, if anybody wanted to know how people hated us, me and Jim Neidhart back in '85 when we were a tag team, he said that's a perfect example right there.
I agree.
So he made fun of the situation, but everything was all okay. And I even chimed in and said he wouldn't have did Booker T and Stevie Ray like that.
Oh no, you would have had all of Houston coming in after that fool. All of Houston would have found that hole. Hell no. You wouldn't have did no South Park nigga like that. Oh no, that wouldn't happen in this lifetime or the next,
dog. Yep. Yes, so we're glad on that instance, man. You wanted to share something about Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah, I want to share something about Nipsey Hussle, man. Because I know this, I know I brought this topic up again, but before I bring this up, he also said something about Kansas lost with all that NBA talent, and you know what I'm saying. He was wondering why, but you got to think about it. Arizona had some NBA talent too, though, because they had at least 7 guys go to the NBA off that Arizona team as well. So they were just the underrated people in the room when it comes to their talent and stuff like that. And with Miles Simon, I'm surprised he didn't have a good NBA career, because when he went to Orlando, we didn't hear nothing else from Miles Simon. So It is what you know. That was the first the light skinned Negroes, the first Curry and Klay Thompson. you know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but
and then he said he made a comment about Klay Thompson too. But we're done. We're done with Paula Pierce. We're done.
oh yeah, most definitely. So yeah,
The delusional
to the light skinned brothers, man, this time. So it is what it is when it comes to it. But I wanted to make another comment, or at least some comments about Nipsey Hussle, man. Again, rest in peace to that brother. Rest in peace to his family in Africa, as well as his family in the United States. He is originally from formerly Ethiopia, Eritrea. And with our boy Nipsey Hussle, man, we definitely, man, respect his legacy, man. Definitely honor his legacy by trying to practice group economics that he did, man. Because what Nipsey was on, Nipsey was a guy that was trying to bring African people in the United States, as well as African people across the globe. And he had an African connection. And I felt like that's one of the reasons why the government had him killed. Because when you add up everything with this dude right here, this dude has a history of being a snitch. You know what I'm saying? The dude who killed him, history of being a snitch. Everybody in LA knew this nigga was a snitch. And I felt like it's some government activity. Now, before I go into more about this fool, black people, please, whatever y'all do, please stop trying to dictate how we should heal, and how we should mourn his death. People like this dude dying, man. Shit, I was pissed off. That's the reason why you had the rant that I had Monday, because it does not make no sense for people to, it does not make no sense for people to do stuff for the community and we end up letting them get killed like dogs. You know what I'm saying? That just don't make no sense. We gotta ride for people that ride for us, man. You know what I'm saying? But the main thing is, God, stop, trying to tell us how to mourn. Stop trying to point the finger at all black people when it comes to us, our people getting killed in the streets, man. First of all, me, Craig, and myself. We're not responsible for the dusty nigga that go in our neighborhood and fuck it up for everybody. We're not responsible for those hoes. Now, if you want to do something about it, again, as I stated, if you want to do something about that dusty nigga, do something about that dusty nigga. But please don't put black on black crime on every black person in the world. There are whole neighborhoods in this country where zero crime goes in, and there are all black neighborhoods. You got wealthy black neighborhoods in LA. Wealthy black neighborhoods out here in Houston, wealthy black neighborhoods in Dallas, wealthy black neighborhoods in Atlanta, wealthy black neighborhoods in PG County, and zero crime ever happens in those neighborhoods. So don't put that shit on every black person. We do not deserve that. We are not responsible for the dusty nigga that killed Nipsey Hussle. Y'all need to get off that bullshit. We need to stop trying to dictate how we should mourn this dude. You're not going to dictate how I'm going to mourn this dude, and you're not going to dictate how I'm going to celebrate his life, because I respect that brother. I didn't listen to a lot of his music. I'm not even lying. But one thing I liked is when he did interviews, the man made a lot of sense. The man was putting in work. You could prove that. The dude was getting dudes off the streets, getting dudes from being gangbangers, that getting body counts up and getting the body counts down. He was taking them dudes off the streets, and I have to respect that, and we gonna respect that. Get off that black on all black, that what about black on black crime shit. If you want to honor that dude, you know what I'm saying, take care of the dusty nigga that's fucking up your neighborhood if you care so much about black crime. Real shit. So you know what I'm saying? Don't tell us how to mourn this dude. Don't tell us how we should honor this dude. Because the way I honor him is gonna be different from the way Craig Smith honor him. It's gonna be different from the way my boy Marcus Johnson in the chat room honor him. It's gonna be different from where somebody from Africa gonna mourn this dude. If you want to honor that man, respect that man's legacy. Respect how we mourn this dude. You know what I'm saying? That's what I wanted to say about that in particular. Now I want to say something about Kodak Whack, aka Kodak Black, aka bro, aka I can't rap, aka this dude need to be in a special education class. Dude, that was real disrespectful of what you did with Lauren London. Now I know the dude on the internet you put posted and talking about, you know what I'm saying? Well, what if she got a nigga in 3 months? That ain't got nothing to do with the cup of tea in China.
Thank
You
you.
know what I'm saying? Because she gonna do whatever the hell she wants. She's a woman. You know what I'm saying? She's a woman. She's a young woman at that. But the thing is, Kodak Black went out his way, and he knows better than that. The thing is, Kodak Black has been doing all types of dusty, weak ass shit for the longest. And he crossed the line. He crossed the line to the 25th power this time. This dude went from talking about, well, I'm black as hell and I don't want no black ass kids and nothing like this. Well, nigga,
Yeah, I heard.
Light skinned chick, you probably still gonna have a chance that you gonna have a black ass kid, motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Have a history of saying fuck shit, and we're just tired of Kodak Black saying dumb ass shit. You don't do that shit right now. Still trying to respect that man. Kodak Black, he apologized, but people need to be man, because that dude has continuously did shit over the last. Way before Nipsey ever died. And Nipsey has shown this dude nothing but respect. Nothing but respect. Like, hey, go get Kodak Black's. There's a tweet saying Kodak Black. So that's the reason why, you know, T.I., people like The Game has got on his helmet, and rightfully so. We need more of that getting on niggas like that helmet. That nigga need to go to a fucking mental hospital and get off that lean, that crack, or whatever that shit that dude got on his mind. You need to get off that shit, man. And we need to start G-checking dudes like that, man, for disrespecting the elders and disrespecting people's family and stuff like that. Now, if she, you know, once she heal or get out of that phase to where she felt like she need to get in a relationship, that's on her. I'm not gonna stop a woman from doing what she gonna do. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, don't disrespect the woman. Let that woman heal. Let that woman mourn her man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I see my boy was talking about I was a diehard Hogan fan growing up, but in retrospect, with Dean Malenko, Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, and Ricky Steamboat, and Bret Hart, and Ric Flair was master tacticians. Agree when it comes to the wrestling shit, man.
Well, let me, hold on. Let me say this. Everybody he said on that name, I do recommend. Who's that responded? Marcus?
Yeah, Marcus.
All right. Hey, Marcus, if you're listening, go on Amazon and find Bret Hart's book, My Real Life in the Cartoon Wrestling World. And it's a doggone good book. And you need to read what he said about Ric Flair at that time. But they buried the hatchet now. They said Ric Flair had the same match every night. Mm-hmm. Whereas Bret, you know, you like all he said, Bret, put it like this. As far as technicians go, Bret, Benoit, Guerrero, Malenko, hands down. But Ric Flair was more of a showman. I mean, he did have some good matches. He did have some good matches with people, you know, but he had like the same match with the same folks every night. Because like Bret Hart said the match they wrestled back 21 years ago, he said it was nothing but non-stop, non-psychology. Because Rick did the same stuff over and over. Wrestle hold, then he get on the top rope, he wants you thrown off, then he do that little silly little thing, you punch him numerous amounts of times, he'll walk off flat on his face and then get on his knees and begging and stuff like that. And they said Ric Flair was, you know, he wrestled the same match every night. But on the other hand, when you look at Ric Flair, when he cut the promo, hey, he be talking, he be saying some real stuff. He'd be funny, but everything else. But go ahead with the continue, bro.
Well, I was pretty much done when it come to the he was talking about Vince screwed Bret Hart. I agree, totally agree with that one.
Yep.
Vince screwed a lot of people in the WWE, and it's a crime for how he screwed people and stuff like that. And it's crazy that they don't have a retirement plan in the WWE as well, but hopefully they're going to get one in the near future, because with the risk you take in the WWE, you need as much financial leverage as possible, because it's a crying shame that the UFC got a retirement plan, but the WWE, who's made on top of billions of dollars over the, you know, with television contracts and WWE apparel, it's a crying shame that people ain't got no retirement plan. So it is.
Well, let me take something back on that. They don't currently now, but the quote, I still call him the governor, Jesse Ventura, what he said on the old Stone Cold interview with Steve Austin on Steve Austin's podcast. He said when he came back in '99, Vince wanted to make light about that man being the governor. At the time he was the governor of Minnesota back in 1999. Okay, because he wanted in '98. He wanted, I think it said he wanted in '98. He started in '99. So Vince McMahon made fun of him about that. And he said, well, that's kind of good. He said, but let me tell you something. He said, you better be on your knees thanking God I didn't run for Senate. He said, because the first thing I would have done, I would have launched a Senate-wide investigation in regards to your little independent contractor situation to the point that you could not beat the government on this one. Because he said he also talked about when he got fired back in 1990 because Vince wouldn't let that man, because Vince got mad because he couldn't get access to the Jesse Ventura name. He said, dude, I trademarked Jesse Ventura long before I even started WWE. He said he didn't want that man to do Predator. And said, so when he filmed Predator, that was at the time when he said when he was trying to start a union. And he was trying to get together for the guys to have a wrestlers union. So he said when he says in WrestleMania 2, and he said when Vince found out about he was having a meeting in regards for a union, he said Vince McMahon read him the riot act. Told him, don't you fucking start no union in this bullshit no more. It's okay. So when the opportunity came up for him to do Predator, he got on down and said he basically had to quit WWE so he could do Predator. And then he turned around, he did the Running Man also, because Vince wasn't gonna let him do it. He said, man, Arn came to me. He said, he didn't come to you. He came to me for both the movies. I mean, I got a chance to star in 2 movies with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And he said, and plus I was on Hunter with Fred Driver. So, but he said anyway, he said when he filmed Predator, and he told Vince, he said, hey, you ain't got to worry about me. He said when he came back, he pulled Vince aside and said, you ain't got to worry about me mentioning anything about this union thing no more, or the pension and all that. He said, because I'm already part of the union. I'm with the Screen Actors Guild, where I get all my full benefits, health care, retirement, pension. He said my 401k, my pension, and everything else.
Exactly.
So, but then he said as far as about he had to do said niggas deposing Vince back then for the for that steroid trial, right? They said because he said the lawyer because then plus Vince won a lawsuit because Jesse won a lawsuit in the process too, because Vince had to fork over $800,000 because of royalties. Because Vince didn't believe in paying nobody royalties. Even though you had ownership of your name and character, Vince still didn't want to pay you for royalties. So he was saying that he told his lawyer at the time, he told his lawyer, he said, because Jesse said he found out from his lawyer, he said, hey, I'm going to be deposing Vince. He said, oh, you are? He said, yeah. He said, well, look here. He said, ask him. Mention something to him about when I mentioned about the union deal, and find out who it was that ratted me out. So he said his lawyer asked Vince the question. He said, would you mind telling the court who it was that told you that Jesse Ventura was about to start a wrestling union? He said Vince McMahon did not hesitate. He said with no hesitation. He said, oh, Hulk Hogan told me. You there? Jimmy. What the hell?
No, I was on mute, bro. My bad. I was on mute, bro.
Now I got to tell this whole story again.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You was on live. You told it live and direct. I heard everything, exactly everything you said, man.
All right. I was like, man, don't tell me his internet went out. But he said with no hesitation, Hulk Hogan told me. And Hulk Hogan has just been toured with friends. He said, I can't believe my best friend ratted me out. Yeah, and he said it was the reason, and here was the reason why Hogan did it. He said because when they had the because he said when they had the WrestleMania 3 in Detroit, he said Hogan's payoff was more than everybody else under the card under him. Hogan had got 2.1 million by himself. The rest of the card collected 2.1 million.
Exactly. Yeah, his salary at that particular WrestleMania, I can't think of him off the top of my head, but his salary was more than the entire undercard.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Jesse was hot about that. So yeah, I said, let one of my friends rat me out. Boy, I'll let in on their ass. I don't blame him. And then they asked him, say, you still talk to Hogan now? He said, for what?
Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, did you have anything to say about that Nipsey Hussle situation and how people are responding to it before we jump on something else though?
No, I mean, you said everywhere. You wanted to address the whole thing. I mean, I was done with it because, only thing that I ask people to do, hey, let us know on our way. And it's understandable we won't demand the rest. But I don't want to share no issues on the Kodak Black situation. Kodak, let me put it like this. Kodak Black was what I had to get up early this morning and do in the bathroom. And that's what I think of him.
Oh, yeah, man. So it is.
Let's just be real on that. Now, Jimmy, we got some fan questions here.
Go ahead.
We got one from Marie here in from Huntsville, Alabama.
Yes, sir.
You'd be amazed how far your podcast go in my old stomping grounds. She said, hello, Craig. Hello, Jimmy. She said, I listen to you guys. She said, I try my best to catch you guys when Jimmy makes the announcement that he's going on live and direct. She said, I recently listened to a show in which both you and Jimmy have praised Gonzaga's Mark Few, or as Craig aptly likes to call him, the Mark Few and the Proud, and with the good job he has done in Gonzaga. What she wants to know is there a coach that is an equivalent in college football that is like Mark Few? Yeah, right in his backyard, got this cat by the name of Chris Peterson.
I agree.
Chris Peterson from Washington.
Totally agree.
I mean, can't explain it all. I mean, look at the job he's done. He went to Boise, took them to numerous BCS bowls. Coached, and in fact, he put himself on the map when I believe he coached one of the greatest Fiesta Bowl games of all time when they played Oklahoma. He gets these guys that all these other big time schools don't even want. The dude, I forgot his name. He's a cornerback now for Philadelphia, and he tore his Achilles tendon on his pro day. Sidney, I forgot his name. He tore his Achilles tendon on his pro day. This wide receiver named John Ross, who had the fastest, in which the NFL thought he was bullshit, who was really one of the most fastest athletes in the Pac-12 bar none, when this dude recorded a 4.1 and a 40 twice.
Yep.
So and I don't even think he's in the league, because if he's not in the league and he's doing up track and doing world-class sprinting with all this full time, hey, more power to him, and I don't blame him.
Exactly.
Because if you mess around, you tear your knee in the NFL or any other injury, hey, your speed hampers. So if he's not in the league, I don't blame John Ross for not going. But Chris Peterson he's done a real good job. Now, granted that a couple conference seasons he had at 7-6, his first year at Washington, he got him on up and come up. I mean, he got him on winning. So exactly. I mean, there's no other coach. Excuse me, I had a phone call. I apologize. There's no other coach in college football that is basically like Mark Few other than him.
Now, if it is otherwise, I like to know myself. But Chris Peterson, hands down, wins it.
Yeah, totally agree with that. I say Chris Peterson when it comes to Mark Few though. So it is what it is. Next question.
I had to reconnect my Bluetooth, man. Somebody called me, did a house call, and knocked my Bluetooth off. Okay. Yeah, the next question was this comes from Andrew in Memphis. No pleasantries. He wants to know what was the best Final Four and what was the worst Final Four in our opinion.
That's a hard one.
That's a tough one. I didn't have a best one, but I could say from the top of my since I answered that first question, you go ahead and take this.
That's a tough one. If you're talking about the best Final Four ever, that's a very tough one right there. That's a tough one to answer right there. Oh man, that's a tough one, bro. I ain't even finna sit up here and answer that. Well, if you probably say the best Final Four, other than Memphis losing, I would say the one that happened in San Antonio 2008, because I feel like when you have all 4 number 1 seeds go to the Final Four, which had never happened. Even though this is a vacated season, that was the best Final Four. Other than Memphis choking, I think it was I think that was the best Final Four. I mean, that doesn't take away how great the Final Four was. You know, it just Calipari made simple coaching decisions, coaching mistakes. So, but that doesn't make it any less than a great Final Four. I would also say when he lost versus UConn, that was a great Final Four. From the crowd onto the game itself, the championship game itself. I think both teams did a good job of representing the Final Four, because Kentucky, let's think about it. Kentucky should not have even been in the Final Four, to be honest with you. They played Wichita State, which I think the officiating
the officiating was suspect.
The officiating was very suspect in that Wichita State game. And then Tennessee got robbed versus Michigan the game before. And then Kentucky come back and beat Michigan, which I found very suspect, being that
that was suspect.
Because Tennessee split the season series versus Kentucky. And I think Quinzo Martin would have probably still been there had, A, the fans not had a demand for his job, and B, they made it to the Final Four, because I think that particular Tennessee team would have beaten Kentucky had it not been for those situations that occurred in him losing, them losing. But nevertheless, Kentucky made it a good Final Four. They represented, and so did UConn that year. So that was a pretty good Final Four. Now, I had the opportunity to experience I want to say the 2017 or 16. When did North Carolina lose? North Carolina lost in 16, I think.
North Carolina. Right. You talking about when they lost to the Buzzers of Villanova?
Yeah.
2016. 2016.
World is going on here? Hello? But yeah. Because my mic went out for a second. But I had the opportunity to experience an actual Final Four live and direct. And now I didn't go to the game per se, but I was I had an opportunity to meet the Tar Heel fans. Had opportunity to meet the Syracuse fans. I had an opportunity to meet the Oklahoma fans, which Oklahoma didn't have too far to go, because a couple of their players were from Houston and stuff like that, and so was Justin Jackson from Tomball High School and stuff like that. So that was a pretty good experience. But I would just say the Dallas Final Four was a lot better than ours. You know what I'm saying? Mainly because of the fan support and stuff like that. I'll say this. From my experience, Carolina have some of the best fans in college basketball as well.
Oh, I said that
about, and I said Gonzaga does, but Carolina them motherfuckers came by the bus loads. They literally drove a bus all the way from fucking Chapel Hill to fucking. They went on a fucking road trip. They had buses of people coming. It wasn't a lot of people flying. You know, the ones that flew was pretty much the rich alumni and shit like that. But fans drove to this motherfucker. Like, why y'all want to drive in this bullshit ass traffic? I was like, well, just don't come to Westheimer Road where I'm currently currently at.
Because they will take a bus. They'll take a bus in a heartbeat. See, the only time they will drive is if they got to go to Durham, because Raleigh and Durham are both in the same spot just about.
And not just that, with the Carolina fans, man. Like I say, the Carolina fans are some of the best fans out there, and I can vouch for first experience. I say Gonzaga got a good fan base as well, but them motherfuckers came on the bus, and it got so crazy out here in Houston to where they shut down the Purple Line train, and it was Carolina fans on that bitch shutting the Purple Line train down. I'm like, why the fuck y'all going all the way to the goddamn hood? Like, shit, we just want to see Houston. I'm like, okay, y'all some bold motherfuckers, though, but all right. And every Carolina fan didn't go to the game, by the way, because it was still some seats available. But if you looked at the one side of the arena, it didn't seem like it because it was so many goddamn Carolina fans coming to party, coming to represent their program, and there was so many Carolina fans that wanted Houston to know, shit, we here up in this motherfucker. So I only had to experience one Final Four in person. So if it was that, I say so far that's the best one I've ever experienced in person, and I would say the other two was the best I was ever watching. I don't know about the worst Final Four because that's a hard one to. That's a hard one, but I would probably say at the rate it is going, this would probably be the worst one. But you know, I'm not going to take nothing away from the winner. I said this one right now. I would probably say this one right now. At the rate, I'm saying at the rate that it's going. At the rate it's going, you probably do. But we'll see what happens Monday night.
Yeah, I gotta agree. I really gotta say, you know, and I agree with you what you said about the best one, but I'm shocked that you didn't mention this one. I think the '94 Final Four was the best because you didn't see Arkansas and Florida coming. That's why I always said the 93-94 basketball season was one of the best ones in my opinion.
With Arkansas was almost expected to be in the championship game. But
a lot of people. Yeah, but hold on. But see, Arkansas broke Duke's record for holding down the number one ranking for 9 weeks. Yeah. Duke had held it for like 8. I think Duke held it for 7. Okay, because really everybody in that year, that whole 91-92 season, Duke didn't have no business being number one all season, and they lost 2 games. You know, let's just keep that 1,010. That's the thing in the past. But what really though, like I said, the 90, you know, what the 2 Final Fours you did mention, even though Kentucky getting in that year was very suspect. 94's Final Four, you had Duke, Florida, Arizona, and Arkansas. Because I mean, when Arkansas and Arizona played, you already know that's a pretty even Steven matchup. But me as a fan, I wanted to see Duke lose to Florida. And in fact, if you want to talk about suspect officiating, watch that Duke Florida game because Florida was tearing their behind up, and then all of a sudden, Florida getting called for BS fouls and everything, man. And then Florida lost by 5 points because they made it so bad they shut Grant Hill down, and then all of a sudden Grant Hill just started. Because Grant Hill had a bad game, and then all of a sudden this man like lighting it up from 3-point range, and then he getting the calls he ain't supposed to get, and all this other stuff. I'm like, whoa, okay, so. Yeah. But 94, you know, like the 2 you said, along with 94, what I mentioned were some of the best. This year's is the worst. I'm trying to think which another one was the worst one. I think
Marcus is mentioning that. I think he's mentioning that as the worst as well. The 1991 Final Four.
Thank you.
everybody expected UNC and Duke to make it there as well. But you know,
He said,
UNLV.
well, your mic man was chopping. You said, Marcus said the 91 Final Four was the worst.
I'm assuming he's talking about that as being the worst because you had Duke.
You gotta agree.
UNC and Kansas. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Duke, UNLV, Arkansas, Duke, yep, that really was the worst because Duke committed the ultimate sin by beating UNLV. Yeah, so that's got to be that's got to be the worst one right there.
Exactly.
So the 91 Final Four ranks is the top, and then this year's rank is ranked right behind too.
Yeah.
So
I've noticed in the last 40 plus years that teams who go undefeated or have one losses going into the Final Four, they never wins it in the last 20 years.
Look at Calipari when he had that 35, when he had that Kentucky team with Karl Anthony Towns, Willie Cauley-Stein was undefeated all year.
And then all of a sudden, when they play Wisconsin, they lose to Wisconsin. But Wisconsin,
Wisconsin prepared for him because Bo Ryan said he was prepared for Kentucky all season. He said when Kentucky was running, what's the saying? What Bo Ryan said, he said, they haven't done nothing I saw before.
Yeah.
So basically, that was supposed to be Kentucky's year. So yeah, Kentucky could have had numerous amounts of championships.
And what enabled them to prepare for Kentucky is when Kentucky started missing their shots, they rebound, and whatever misses they had, they took advantage of the misses. And they didn't play this Virginia offense that they played because Bo Ryan in past years played that slow ass. He had the pack line defense, but he had an offense to go with the pack line defense because he had Comiskey who could shoot the three, 7-foot white boy, and then you had that other white boy Sam Duckett, who was shooting that bitch. Sam Decker was shooting that bitch too, man. So they took advantage of them boys, and man, they were like, shit, we not finna slow this game down. We finna shoot their lights out. And man, Wisconsin was a juggernaut offensively the whole year because they was like that was unheard of for a Wisconsin team to be offensively as they did. And then unfortunate for Bo Ryan all of a sudden is his retirement. He went on to retire early, but I think at some point, if Bo Ryan was still coaching, he would probably have a national championship.
No, Bo Ryan was forced to resign because he admitted about an extramarital affair that he had during his tenure. He had some shit come up on him. He was forced to resign. Jimmy. Yeah, but he probably got me on mute again. But no, Bo Ryan was forced to resign. So you had me on mute again, man.
I don't know why this sucker is going on mute, but for some reason this thing is going on mute for some odd reason. Yeah. With Bo Ryan offense, he was changing his offense because after he lost to Ole Miss, he was like, "Fuck this slow ass shit. We finna go with everybody offensively. We gonna play good defense and we gonna score on their ass." So, that was the Bo Ryan way he was starting to change his way, and it was just unfortunate for Wisconsin that they didn't get the best out of Bo Ryan because I think when they played against Duke, I said it myself. I was like, Duke is gonna beat these motherfuckers because Duke is more disciplined. You know what I'm saying? They got one and done players, but they're more disciplined than those guys.
Yeah, no doubt. So that's in on that one. We got a question based off of the show from the last show we did. A guy by the name of Charles from Memphis, Tennessee, and the headline says Southside.
Yes, sir.
So I guess it's directed to me. He said, hey, fellas, what's going on? Said, I recently ran into recently ran into the video of the live stream of Jimmy's show, and you guys are answering the question in regards about the rise and fall of your high school alma maters. And I heard Craig talk about the rise and fall of Southside in both basketball and football. And he mentioned something about the football coach at the time, Coach Taylor, was a terrible coach, especially defensively. He said, what was the one moment? It took me a minute to think about those. He said, what was the one moment where you knew he was a bad play caller? Hell, every game. Like I said, and I'm just gonna be honest with you. If my partner Aaron Rumley, God rest his soul, was alive, he would tell you the same thing. Coach Taylor ran, and I said before, I say it again, but I'm gonna keep everybody updated. If not, find Jim the last live stream Jimmy J did, and I talk about it there. Coach Taylor had a whole lot of talent on offense. Okay, he had a whole lot of talent on offense. Granted, some of the guys were talented, but they were too much of hot dogs. I praised the starting quarterback at the time. I believe it was, like I said, I don't know. I think it was Sean Knowlton or something like that. And I forgot who we had as running back. But we had some guys that can actually play. We had some dudes that can basically protect the line. Because the one thing I can't say, Derek didn't get that's his name. What is it? I'm calling by his real name. I'm calling by the name that he wants everybody to call him Sean. Sean didn't get sacked much that year. But to go back to the question, he was a bad coach in every game, period. I mean, he lost, them Southside teams lost the teams they didn't have no business losing to. I can understand, like, if you lose to somebody like to a West or a respectable loss to a Westwood or Hamilton or Melrose or something like that, just name a few. His defenses, though, man, his defensive play calling was so doggone was the shits. I hate to say it in public like that. I'm around some kids. It really was the shits. Why would you want to run a prevent-based front? Okay, Jimmy, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Okay. You're a defensive coordinator, right? Let's think about this long haul.
Yeah.
Marcus, if you're on the chat thing, you too. Everybody's listening on Jimmy J Smooth, whether it's for Marcus Johnson, and I'm going to subscribe to him, find him on YouTube, anybody. If the opposing team comes out in a 5 wide, are you going to call a 4-3 defense or are you going to call a dime?
Say that one more time, bro, because I want to get that clear.
If the opposing team offense is coming out in the 5 wide set, nothing but 5 wide receivers, or better yet, just don't just be good 5 wide, or let alone come out in 5 wide, but the one of the wide receivers be a tight end. Are you gonna come out in the defensive alignment of the 4-3, or are you gonna come out in a dime?
You got to come out in a dime defense. That's where you got to come out. You got to come out in a dime defense. Definitely.
Mm-hmm. So if you're gonna come out with 6. You're gonna come out with 4 linemen, one linebacker in the middle, and 6 in the secondary to counter that 5. Because really, that extra man gonna either blitz or gonna make a good defensive stop. Either he gonna intercept the pass, or he gonna make his way to sack the quarterback.
Yeah. Now you can come in a nickel blitz package, but you got to get to the downside to that is you leaving people one-on-one in coverage, and you got to make sure the nickel blitz get there as opposed to. But for the most part, the most intelligent defense for that is the dime defense, unless you're looking for the sack, and you can come in a nickel blitz.
Mm-hmm. Tell me why this man, Coach Taylor, was known to call a 4-3 in that instance.
Well, a lot of guys get hired as head coaches because they ain't got nobody else to hire. That's one of those things, though. So I mean, they probably were just settling for this motherfucker. So,
which Southside was, and like I said, if you had, when you told me about the coach that coach that was there at Oak Haven that had a good offense, but the players wanted to do their own thing. They didn't want to just dismiss this man. if he had been at Southside, I think Southside could have won about at least 9 to 10 games with the talent that was on that team.
Yeah.
I mean, but you know, but like I said about my alma mater, I love my alma mater to death, but it was an old school that had some people that just settled.
Mm-hmm.
They just settle for what they think was in the best interest for every program there was. Like I said, when I was there at the time, the only sports program that did actually win for a couple of years was tennis.
Yeah, and
then that's why I said, so to answer Charles's question, yeah, Coach Taylor was just a bad coach in every doggone game.
Yeah, but like with the head football coach that I was coached by,
he ran the old school wing T, but it was friggin' outdated for the most part. His offensive system, he needed to run more spread formations, and that was the downside to him. That now he did start to throw the ball more, but he wasn't spreading the field out like he should have, which was still a problem. You know what I'm saying? So I think when I had the coach after him, you know, because he passed away a year after I graduated, God rest his soul. The coach after him, who came from Fayette Ware and took them to the semifinals, damn near beat a Pearl Cone team with John Henderson and Santonio Beard, which is all SEC players. His offensive system was better. The problem, he just did not have the damn players to use that shit. That was the problem. And I think he would have been better suited at a Central or East or somewhere better, because I seen his play calling, and I'm like, you know, he had great play calling. And then when I graduated a couple of years back, when his first year as the head coach, I was talking to him, and he was a good guy. He's a real good guy. And I could tell this guy had intelligence in terms of his play calling, because, you know, he did take them to the playoffs and got their first playoff win in a number of years. But I think, in my personal opinion, my alma mater, and I hate to say this, they did not deserve a coach like him. That was a waste of time for him to come to Oak Haven. I mean, I guess he was one of those guys that wanted a new challenge, because he did things with Fayette Ware that never been done before at Fayette Ware. But to me, he wasted his time coming to Oak Haven, and I said, man.
I mean, and you know, like I said, you can't knock a guy for trying.
Exactly.
You can't knock the person for trying. And I feel if he had came at Southside around by that time, I mean, damn. He would. I'm put it like this. He would have got rid of it. And I'm not saying some names. I ain't gonna say no names with respect to them. We had some guys there were a couple guys on that team, and that football team were lazy. And they knew they were. They just wanted to be on the football team, so I guess so what? So they can get the girl. But you can't always get what you want.
It is what it is when it comes to that.
Do we got any other questions, man?
Yeah, one more. We got this question from WC in Murfreesboro. Says she stated that she's a female, and she wants to know this question from us from a male perspective. She wants to know, she said, hello, Craig. Hello, Jimmy. She said, hear you guys most of the time, and I recently ran into both of you guys as a response to the males and the men and women videos, and they were both good, especially this. And really, she said, can't pick which one's the best because they both were good. Okay. She said, I would like to know from you guys. How she worded this? I got to get it right, because I think she was talking in a text format. But I straightened it out. She wants to know, why is it that men don't ask women out on dates anymore?
I'll start with that one.
Go ahead.
One of the reasons why men don't ask women on dates no more, which this could be hit or miss. Sometimes sex is a little bit too accessible for men, and you got too many loose coochie looses around her. That's one of them. Now, I will say this: just because a woman have sex on the first date, don't make her a slut, and that's one of the biggest misconception. And I'm gonna tell you why. Is because some women vibe for a man is different than her vibe for the next man. What she'll allow one man to do is she might not allow the next man to do it. So that is a very common misconception.
Right.
Second, and this is probably the number one reason, but we just gonna have to keep it 1,010. There's too many Me Too heifers around this motherfucker. Me Too movement ass heifers around here that y'all need to G-check. You need to G-check these women around here. And I'm not just talking about white women. But the Me Too movement was started by coon ass, goddamn, whoop, just the sound of the police, KRS-One looking. Are you there?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, man. My bad. I moved something. Go ahead.
But the Me Too movement was started by a KRS-One looking ass chick named Tawana Burks. And if you don't do something about these women that are messing it up for all you women, you're going to have a major problem on your hands, especially in the next 10 years. Because there's a reason why dudes are going to different countries to explore their options. And one of those reasons is men are just tired of the bullshit that a lot of these American women are dishing out. Instead of trying to build with men, it's too many women out here that's trying to wear the pants of the man. You know what I'm saying? You want man to pay all the bills, but you got the same salary of this nigga, and you ain't trying to help out with the bills. You ain't even trying to help put money on the house so y'all can basically. You're not trying to pay the mortgage or pay off the house so y'all can enjoy the best of y'all years and stuff like that. Because there's a lot of women out there that's talking about, well, it shouldn't a man has to pay all the mortgage, pay all the rent and shit like that. And we're thinking like that. You're not a builder. You're a liability, is what that is. You got a lot of women out here like that.
Man, say that one more time, dog. Say that one more time.
You're not a wife, you're a liability, basically. You're not an asset, you're a liability. You know what I'm saying? We're thinking like that. You talking about man need to pay all the goddamn house, but you gonna put your name on the house, you gonna put your name on the rent. You're not an asset, you're a fucking liability. That's
man, and I got something to say in regards to mine when you get done with yours in regards to that.
But so you know, because a lot of you women who make all this money out here. And this is not all women, because some women, you know, they're gonna be like, well, let me help you out with this, or let me put what you're paying on top of this so we can go on and pay this house off in 15 as opposed to 30 years, or pay it off in 10 years. Motherfuckers ain't thinking like that. And those for you women that's talking about men should pay all the goddamn bills. You know what I'm saying? He may as well get a roommate with bitches like you. And yes, I said bitches. Man, what? You need to get a fucking roommate with bitches like you. Because the thing is, it's called community property. That's what a marriage is. What's yours is his. What's his is yours. That's just the way it is. But to make a long story short, you got too many Me Too movement heifers out there like that who ain't being G-checked. That's one of the reasons why guys are in approaching, because you got a woman. The minute you start hollering at her, it's street harassment. Oh, I just got raped. You got a lot of fake rape allegation ass heifers out here that don't deserve to be with a man. They deserve to be ugly and lonely and old as hell and childless. It's too many of that going on. So of course men's gonna be out here. We're not gonna try to approach you because goddamn it, the minute we try to approach you, you got a fucking attitude. The minute we approach you, you don't want to speak to us. You need to check your female peers, but what you'll do is you'll co-sign a female free behavior. And like I say, I don't endorse interracial relationships. I don't recommend it. I'm gonna just put it to you like this: I don't recommend it but I'm not the dick police either. If a man want to go out there and have an interracial relationship, cool. If a woman want to go out there and have an interracial relationship, cool. But don't jump on the coon train. That's all I'm asking you to do. Stay over there, but don't jump on the coon train. But here's the major problem: the moment you see another black man with another white woman, you have a problem with that shit.
Yeah, y'all get the holler.
Matter of fact, let's not even go there. You don't even have to see that nigga with another white woman. You can just see him with a woman with a light-skinned chick. a chick lighter than you. Oh, he date that girl because she light skinned. Oh, he date that girl because she mixed. Or even better, because I went out with the homeboys last night, and you know, those guys was at least 10 years younger than me. But it was a couple of chicks that was doing the dick policing, that was doing some dick policing, and it wasn't even. It wasn't even a situation where her friend was a white girl. It wasn't even a situation. You had the older chick, you know, hollering at one of my homeboys. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, he'll give some cooperation. But this other chick was mad because, you know what I'm saying, she's trying to get her groove back, and the other chick, she ain't getting no cooperation. So I gotta play wingman for this guy. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I'm saying, I'm trying to keep the cock block. I'm trying to keep the other bird from being the cock blocker. And men, let me tell y'all, some advice. Learn how to be a wingman for your home. Because not every dude out there, because I can work females, 3, 4, 5 females at one time. I can do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I got it like that. But not everybody can do that. So be a good wingman when you're trying to holler at some. When you try to kind of holler at, when your boy's trying to holler at someone, when you trying to holler at something. It's always good to be a good wingman. But I could feel that vibe, and the chick I was talking to, you know, I'm trying to get some little cooperation out of this chick, and then when my homeboy leaves, you know, she throw him up under the bus, so that kind of turned me off right now, you know, because I'm trying to do the dude with her. I ain't gonna lie. But it was some hating ass, dick policing ass female. She was one of them hating ass, dick policing ass females. I told her goodbye and went on about my business up in this last thing. So ain't always limited to interracial relationship. Let's just please take that in consideration as well. But that's one of the major problems you have. You have too many women out here that are falsely accusing guys of sexual assault, rape, all types of crazy ass stuff, and then you got the Me Too movement that are bringing these fake allegations and stuff like that. Now, a third reason, and that's another common reason as well, is usually guys are shot. That's another reason. Guys are just shot. You know what I'm saying? So he's not going to approach you too quick because you know you intimidating as hell. Some guys are intimidated by women. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's better for the woman to approach the man to break the ice in certain situations, but a lot of women will not do that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes if you looking for a guy, you ain't got to be Lucy. You ain't got to be Freaknik 1996 or do it baby, stick it baby, but at least let a nigga know you interested, man. And you ain't got to tell him directly you're interested. You got to indicate, you got to let it know you're cooperating. You got to be inviting. You got to give some type of cooperative vibe. It ain't our job to give you it ain't our job to go do a power struggle trying to chase your ass. That's just a common misconception because dudes got options out here. You got to think about it. Dudes out here got options, and sometimes those options are not always a good thing. But guess what? If you got a choice between going through a power struggle with this person and going through a power struggle with that person, he's gonna pick the least resistance because it's not much easier. It ain't always, but you don't want to have no power struggle that you try and shit like that. So I say the best advice for that is pretty much, you know, approach guys. You know, you don't have to be, but just let a dude know or go in his vicinity and just let him know trying to talk. You know, don't be trying to finesse no nigga, if you know what I mean. But the main thing is, it's basically those things mainly because it's too much shit going on, and women got to be more vocal about that. You know what I'm saying? I know I went into a tangent a little bit, but the thing is, that's one of the reasons you have guys not approaching women no more. Is those very three reasons in a lot of cases. And some guys are.
You sound like you swimming there a little bit, bro.
Say what now?
You sound like you swimming there a little bit.
Okay, no problem. But some guys and then you got guys out there, you know, hey, I ain't got time for all this shit. You gotta make it easy. You ain't gotta give them on the first night or nothing like that. But we're just saying be approachable. And if you're not gonna do that, at least approach the guy. you're gonna be lonely as hell. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. You can take over right now.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you on everything what you said, but but let me stick on something to the part where it is here. And I've gone on record, I've gone on your show my times, and I even went on Facebook, and because sometimes I don't announce, I don't never announce my stuff on Facebook because that gives somebody run back to tell. But the bit where you said about the liability part, talking about you're not a wife, you're a liability. My ex-wife was the latter. Okay, because true enough. Okay, the house we was living in Huntsville. Yeah, I was paying the rent, even though the house is in her name. Okay, but she didn't want to help me pay other bills, even though she would enjoy the cable. Her and that hot chick son of hers. Would be enjoying cable at my expense, would mess up. I ain't gonna say would eat old food, would mess up food. Like they'll eat it and then leave the shit sitting out in the damn open. But anyway, she would, true enough, like I said, I had good times with my ex-wife, but when it came to the financial part and all that about you do this and you do that, man, she was more of a liability. She wasn't even a team player. And would get mad when I would do things individually and like I was the bad guy or something. So, but that chapter has ended right there in the there. You got to excuse little baby back in the back crying. I do apologize. But, back to the answer to the question is basically everything what Jimmy has said. You got a lot of these, mainly, you got a lot of these women out here with this Me Too movement. I live in the state. Matter of fact, I live in the city where it's a lot of Me Too going on around here. And let's just be real about it. There's a lot of women out here in South Haven. No matter what color it is, they holler Me Too, Me Too, Me Too. If you ask a woman these days, no matter what it is, if it's a black woman or a white woman, whatever it is, you ask if they phone them, they don't feel comfortable. The next thing you know, not police knocking on your door, or police being called, or a restaurant manager being called in saying you harassing them because you making her feel uncomfortable and all this other stuff. I'm just pointing examples out right there and there. There's a lot of women that cry wolf all the time, that Me Too stuff, and let alone typically, hey, women, guys are shy to ask. And I said, hey, when I moved back, when I divorced and single and everything, right? You there?
Yeah, I'm here, man.
Okay. When I got divorced and called myself trying to get back in the dating game, okay, I got told no a lot. So that's why I don't even bother asking women out there. I don't. I mean, if I strike up a conversation with her, if I can tell that she's showing interest in me, hey, I'll get a shot at it, ask your phone number, whatever. But if you ain't showing interest or whatnot, this and that, I just keep it moving. So I mean that's how I am. Because really, and when it all boils down to it, it all comes down to trust. You really can't really can't trust them. You really can't trust none of the women these days. And I'm gonna be man, keep it 1,010 as well. You can't trust none of the men either.
Exactly.
Because and here's a spin on that. Since WC is a woman, I'm gonna tell you this here too. Men are not the best liars. And I will give a nod and say women are, but they get caught in their lies so hard, they have a contingency for theirs. But I'm being funny, but being for real. A man to say he ain't got this and he ain't got that, but then all of a sudden, just say for example, a woman dating Jimmy, okay, and all this and that. She get your picture, find out who it is that you taking with, or let alone just say if you post a picture of the woman you dating, all of a sudden your ex-girlfriend get in contact with the girl through Facebook, and you get a phone call who is this, Jimmy? Who is this so-and-so? She all up my inbox blowing me up, talking about you gave her this and gave her that and this and that. See, it's a lot of a little bit, and you never told her about you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I definitely get what you're saying on that one.
Definitely.
It's a lot of, and really, hey, it's a lot of, like I said, it's a lot of men that lie. They'll say they ain't got no children, but they turn around. Baby mama's hitting you up in your inbox, talking about, he got about 4 kids by me, right? And we working on our 5th one. I'm just saying, and that's just real talk. So, and it really attributes to the fact that, hey, us guys, we are shy and asking. But like I said, when my post-divorce life, I call myself trying to get back in the dating game. Will I be able to get back into that? Maybe not. I'm just taking my time. But I'm just gonna stick to do what I do, man. If I see a woman at the bar I talk to, I'll strike up a conversation with them and stuff like that. And yes, it is best to have a wingman. If a woman can have a wingman, meaning her buddy as one, fellas, you need to have one too. There's nothing wrong with that.
You should.
There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes I take chances mostly more on my own.
Exactly.
But because really most of my friends, man, they do their little thing. So, but I'm seeing more women with wingmen than us fellas do, and it's nothing wrong with that. So the real question, like everything, to answer WC's question, and the bottom line, what Jimmy and I have just basically said, is all about trust. Can you trust the guy that you going out on a date with, fellas? Can you trust that woman that you're gonna be with, that you married to? And really, can you trust yourself in the ask? And you also gotta have some confidence too. And you gotta have some confidence in yourself.
Exactly.
And sometimes, and I'll admit it, hey, I've been lacking a lot of confidence lately. Because I have to watch, I have to watch myself, because you never know, because, and it's bad, man. And let me say this, it's bad that we still, and it's everywhere, but Jimmy, I'm pretty sure if you have been familiar with South Haven, Mississippi, it's bad that people are still stuck in the times. As far as who he date, who don't date. Like, I remember a while back, a white girl told me that she don't date black guys, but I see him out. I saw the girl out, and she out with one, and I ran to her. I said, "I thought you said you don't date a brother."
Exactly.
And I busted out. So, because I'm telling you what I did. I waited, till like he left. And I addressed her. I said, I thought you said you don't date brothers. And she couldn't say nothing.
Exactly.
So that is why men don't ask women out on dates anymore. The trust factor.
Exactly. You got anything else?
No, man, that's it. Because I think you're ready. Well, since I'm waiting for this rain to subside, I'm gonna take my ass back home because man, mom's cooked, man. So I was gonna give me something to eat out, but then she cooked. I said, oh shit. I said, let me go and I'll go up here for a minute and then just come back home and get what she cooked. So
most definitely. And before we go, man, what do you think about the NBA playoffs? Because you got to think about the playoffs is going to start this week, on the weekend this week. I think everybody got 2 and 3 games left. So
I think it'll be exciting. Some interesting matchups, and once again, I think for I don't know how many consecutive years the West have all 50 or more win teams And again,
exactly.
Which is unheard of. Every year, the West, hell, AC team gonna be a 55 win team in the end, man. So the West, the East ain't a beast anymore, but the West right now is definitely the best.
Yeah, and another thing as well, my boy out of Oakland, California, Town Biz, shout out to him. He said the championship, if the Golden State Warriors plan on winning the championship, it's definitely not going to be easy for them, and I totally agree with it. I think
they got San Antonio first round.
Yeah, and that's not an easy task, but I think they'll get past San Antonio. If it, they better hope Houston keep on win out the regular season, because I'm gonna tell you, if they have to play them in the second round, mark my words, if they have to play them, if Houston loses, Houston A is gonna beat them, or they're gonna get to the point to where they're gonna get exposed. So I would wait on Houston till the conference finals to play them, because with Houston, who even though they jack up as many threes, jack up way more threes, they jack up about 30, 40 threes a game. When they start hitting them bitches, that's dangerous for Golden State, because the threes they hit is spread it around. Whereas Golden State's 3-point shots is spread around among 3 people at least. So I would say I would wait on Houston and then wait till they get tired, wait till they're worn out, and then get them in the conference finals as opposed to beating them in the second round. Because I think if they have to play them, even if they win and go to the conference finals against Houston, what will end up happening is they're either going to lose in the conference finals or they're going to lose in the NBA finals. And that's going to be real dangerous for them. So I think they need to wait on Houston until the conference finals. And it's not going to be easy on them, because Houston has won more games against Golden State than anybody in the NBA. So in the last 2 years. So, and they swept the season series. I'm talking about the regular season series 2 years in a row. I mean, not swept the season series, but they won the season series 2 years in a row. So if I'm them, I would not want to see Houston early, and neither is anybody else. So definitely don't count them out. In the East, do not count out Boston. I'm telling y'all, Milwaukee Bucks fans, because y'all have never experienced this in a lot of people's lifetime. I think they went to the conference finals in the 80s. I can't think of when, but they've been to the last time they went to the
2001.
Yeah, 2000. Because
they almost beat Philadelphia. They had Philadelphia beat.
Yeah, they went to the conference finals in 2001, and they went one time in the 80s. But I'm gonna tell y'all, do not sleep on Boston, because Boston is pretty much. I think Boston gonna pretty much beat Indiana if they have to, because it's gonna be a 4-5 seed. So
I don't know, man. Indiana pretty. Hey, Nate McMillan. Wait a minute. I've always said you can't count them out, dog, because they been playing some better ball without Victor Oladipo. I ain't saying Victor Oladipo ain't no bad player or bad teammate. I mean, they were hooping before Oladipo got hurt, but they just learned to step up and got better. They just learned to step up and become better. I mean, Sabonis, Miles Turner. I mean, hey, and all the other cats that Nate McMillan using. And I think Oladipo gonna come back. I think they're saying he might be back in time for the playoffs.
Yeah, but again, I mean,
because I mean, hey, that's why I'm putting it like this: like Indiana and Boston, that's gonna go 7 games, dog. Don't count out Nate McMillan coach team.
But either way,
even though I didn't like what he did at Portland, I didn't like it. Even though I never liked Nate McMillan's tenure in Portland, I think with him coming to Indiana, it was pretty good for him. And but either way, like you said, don't count out on Boston, but that's gonna be that's really, when you look at that, man, that's a tough matchup.
Yeah. And then you got the top 4 things. So I'm gonna look on ESPN who's in the top 4. I know Boston. It's Boston, Philadelphia, then Toronto, and then it's Milwaukee. But I'm saying Milwaukee, y'all don't have this in the bag all the way. So don't sit up there and don't think
it ain't gonna be easy.
It ain't gonna be easy. I'm gonna tell y'all that now, because when y'all come back and say, "My Milwaukee Bucks lost," and one of my favorite YouTubers is a Milwaukee Bucks fan. One of my favorite YouTubers, 78 Sports. And I think he's being realistic about their chances too, because he hasn't talked too much about the Bucks. So I think he's, out of everybody. So he's definitely smart on that end. But he's definitely smart on that end. I'm gonna tell y'all, Milwaukee Bucks fan, because y'all number one in that conference, and that's good. That's good. Don't count out Philadelphia. Don't count out Boston, and damn sure don't count out Toronto. And you definitely don't want to count out Dwayne Casey over there at Detroit.
Yeah, and see, that's who they want. But see, that's who they're gonna have to play first round. Detroit.
Yeah, I'm not.
And as talented as Detroit is, they ain't got no business being AC at all.
Exactly, and I think Casey will get it right over there at Detroit. As long as they're giving him a chance and opportunity to keep on building their program, I think Dwayne Casey at Detroit, I think he can build something over there. But it's just gonna have to take time, just like he did at Toronto. He's time, and I think Detroit made a good move by hiring him. But I'm gonna tell y'all, Milwaukee Bucks, don't count Detroit out. Dwayne Casey. The only reason why he lost his job at Toronto is he had a LeBron James problem. And, that's the only issue. But other than that, Dwayne Casey's a damn good coach. So, again, guys, do not count out those teams. I'm telling y'all that right now. Y'all can count them out if y'all want to, but don't think y'all have it in the bag. So, cheer your team gracefully, man, and whatever happens, going to happen. So, it is what it is when it comes to that. Do you got anything else?
No, and one more thing, despite this noise back here, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Let me say something here. Did we ever cover something on social media etiquette on either one of our shows?
Did you ask a question? I couldn't hear that question.
Yeah, I was asking because somebody back in the background talking. I was asking, did we ever cover did we ever cover something about social media etiquette on our shows?
I think we did, but I think we briefly went into it, if I recall.
Okay. Well, let me say this. Well, first and foremost, I don't like what YouTube has decided to implement as far as going live on mobile goals, which I think is the biggest bunch of bullshit there ever is. Your channel got to have 1,000 subscribers before you go on live. So whoever made that decision, I don't know if you got up there. I don't know if you got up that morning and had a couple swigs or something. You had no business drinking at a meeting to think about that. But you might want to reconsider, because that is dumb. Now, but I'm glad, and I'm hoping Amazon will take over YouTube. That way, everything be all set in the narrow, because that don't make no sense. You got to have 1,000 subscribers just so you can go on live. That's a bunch of BS. Okay, but that ain't got something to do with social media. This is all about on Facebook. And let me tell people on Facebook something. These some of the folks on that's my Facebook friends or whatever. One of my Facebook friends made a nice little status that I had to share, and they said, and I quote, "Facebook need to notify me, let me know who unfriended me. I can go ahead and click like on it." Let me tell you something. And mainly people that I know, and people feel the same way on this too, and I'm pretty sure Jimmy does too. I mean, and really, Jimmy, if you're gonna block somebody or unfriend, you talk about it behind their back. Okay, I done had several people unfriend me for reasons. I mean, because what? Because I didn't fuck with you like that at whether it's at work or in school, whatever. Look, man, Facebook has basically, and I told my boy, shout out to Trey Murphy on this, by the way, because I was telling him about it too, and he went through the same dilemma. People unfriending him because of some things, over some BS. Facebook then took the grown out of grown folks.
I agree.
And I was just being straight up, because I ain't never known anybody. Hey, you got to be cool with a certain person at work, cause you know, or it can be your Facebook friend and stuff like this. Look here, Mer said it best, and I agree. You ain't back in high school no more. This isn't high school. Your past glory years when you were worth a damn, from the time you in high school on up, are over. If you got responsibilities, you got to start being grown. I mean, if Facebook want to take you out, want to take your grown self out of being grown, meaning you want to be childish, you want to go back to high school or whatever, well, I tell you what, find you a DeLorean machine, go back to time to where you was in high school and stay there. I for one, I ain't got time for people to unfriend me. And then when I go and then like when I go on your page, you know, you want to throw shots at me. You know, like I felt, you know, even though this one, you know, I'm not saying names. I saw a post on there that said something about, and I guess it was directed toward me in regards about the fact that I should recruit others like you. Maybe it was or it wasn't. And you know, and I thought about it, I'm like, maybe that post was directed toward me. I said, but you know, I ain't gonna let it slide. And I'm gonna tell you how I know it was directed toward me. When I commented on it, they didn't react to it, but they reacted to with everything else I said. I said, oh, okay, so it was directed to me. Okay. I said, all right, I said, okay. I'm gonna leave it alone. But let's just put it like this. That person knows better. They didn't remove, hey, I'm still cool with him. I've been cool with him ever since we worked together. But as a person, they know better. You know? But let me say this, if you on Facebook and you got to feel you feel a need, you gotta unfriend somebody or block them or whatever. Here's a good idea. Keep them up there, you know. Don't just accept the friend request. You know, don't accept the friend request. You can always delete, but you know, don't block them because they ain't your cup of tea, or or whatnot, or because you're this and that, man. Everybody gonna start being grown. When you're on Facebook, look, y'all gotta start acting grown for real.
Exactly.
Because I'm sick of a whole bunch. I'm saying I'm cussing over here, like I said, it's a little child around me. I am sick of a whole bunch of these. Some motherfuckers that I see on my Facebook page just do dumb shit, unfriend shit, and every fucking thing because they ain't your cup of tea. First of all, you don't know a damn thing about a person. How you gonna comment? How you gonna talk about somebody you barely even know?
I agree.
You know, it's like with my last job, and man. Not where I was at first, not where I was at while I was at here. But when I was in Huntsville, okay, when I was living in Huntsville, I worked for the uniform people, okay. Yeah, there was a whole bunch of things that was said about me behind my back in front with folks. I'm like, damn, you know, and you know, none of them didn't even bother to get to know me. And then I got a review, bro. I'm gonna put it like this: the review was insulting. Okay, I'm going back down memory lane. Don't mean to hold up. I can tell the story now, because before I left, my first supervisor that I started with was doing my review that my last supervisor had done. Okay, dude, there were some things on me that was just said, and it was just damning. Like, you know, like on a scale, like you had to ask, like on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you think you did on your attendance? Okay, so I said 8, 8.5, just being honest. Okay, dude gave me a 7. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm just going around there and say, here's why. You remember when, okay, and I was gonna go and be honest. He gonna talk about he said employee has to learn, it was some of the most damning shit ever. And you would think some people would understand some of your situations and stuff like that. But let's just be real here. They don't. they ain't, really, if people say they got your best interest in hand, they got your best interest in hand. All right, pay attention to how that's being said. Man, it was said that it had to be my it had to be my responsibility to get to work. Okay, well, them times I had to burn my 3 vacation days when I was stuck up here back in June when my head gasket went out. That wasn't my fault, but like my boss had told me, at the time he told me when he was reading off what was said by the previous person, he said, he told me, he said, Craig, I look at it like this: shit happened. You ain't got no control over that. But it was just, but to make a long story short, man, it was just being said that I really wasn't. I really wasn't a reliable employee. And then if it be stuff that I say on Facebook, how about they would go back and tell everybody? I'm like, bro, I could be talking about anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, I could be talking about anybody. That don't mean you go back and tell it. I mean, but it's like this, and I also learned, hey, when people take your Facebook post the wrong way, if you ain't talking about them, apparently the shoe fits.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
The shoe fits. Facebook has basically turned everybody. It basically turned grown folks into punks. I was being real, even people my age and up. Now there are some ones out there that know how to act grown. Like I got a friend, man. I got a friend up there that lives in Michigan. I had to get on her ass about it. Like, just look, man. I said, you posting these Facebook statuses like you on Twitter or something. That's what Twitter is for. Cause I mean, she'll post up something like so-and-so did this and that. 10 minutes later, she posts up something. I'm like, okay, if you got all that free time in the world to post something on Facebook, do something constructive. And she'll turn around and say, well, you do something, you be posting all the time, you got a lot of free. I said, well, here's the thing. When I work and I have something called an off day, I can do that.
Exactly.
I do have a right to have an off day for my job, but we gonna have to, we all gonna have to start being grown, man. And literally grow up.
Exactly.
Grow up. How about, grow up? Yeah, really have to grow up. Basically, grow a set of everything. Because Facebook is basically killing us personality-wise as people. They're killing our priorities, basically killing our priorities as adults. There are no adults anymore, man. And social media has basically taken over. Because like if I'm not on Facebook, hey, I'm on YouTube or whatever. I sit up or I draw. Facebook has been man. Ever since Facebook came to existence, and it's gotten a little bit better. It's really been just become depressing, man. But yeah, man. Back to that story about that bad review I had. It's just like, to the day, do it still piss me off? Yes. Hell yeah. I mean, it's basically like you say. It was basically saying that, hey, Craig not a reliable person. I can, he does good work, but he's got to get better on a lot of things. And I always say when a person say but, that's the final say. Like if I'm your boss, Jimmy, like Jimmy, if I was your boss, I'm saying Jimmy does great work, but always gonna be found say over a good compliment.
Stephen A does that whole ass shit a lot too. I know when he does that. This motherfucker about to say some tap dancing, eyes bucking bullshit, man. I just and I don't like Stephen A for the record. I know you refer to him a lot, but I don't like this for the record. So sometimes he do say some good things. Every once in a while,
he says some good things. He was on point on several things, man, that even you had to agree with something on. Cause But when it comes to the race issues and stuff like that, he don't get a pass from me on some things.
Oh, you need to stop talking about it altogether. He makes 0 points when it comes to racism issue. When it comes to sports, I don't know why he getting paid more than anybody at ESPN because, you know, dude don't know shit about anything damn near. With basketball, he knows a little something about basketball, but a lot of times that nigga just be hating in a lot of cases. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't never heard nothing. The only time I heard of Stephen A. is when I heard of Stephen A. Smith was when he was on ESPN back 2001. A 33-year-old boy, a 34-year-old Stephen Smith. And he talked a whole bunch of stuff about with basketball. He politely predicted the Lakers is gonna win. He even said that Philadelphia squad was no match for the LA Lakers. He said that Milwaukee team with Glenn Robinson, Ray Allen, Michael Redd, Tim Thomas, that was coached by George Carr. They said they would have had a shot, but he said with Allen Iverson, he was right.
Yeah, so he gets right. He be right every once in a while and shit. So my thing with Stephen A, man, I don't like I said, I don't know why the motherfuckers. I guess they want to have some tap dancing Negro to say something crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't watch Undisputed, even though I'm not even a Skip Bayless guy, but at least Skip makes a debate of it. And I don't like Skip Bayless ass either, but at least he makes a debate of it sometimes. Even other than the dumb shit he be saying some stupid ass shit. but I like Shannon Sharp the way he makes it a good. He brings up good debates and stuff like that. Because one thing I like about Shannon Sharp, he don't bite his tongue. He gonna do his research. That's one thing I can respect about Shannon Sharp. He gonna do his. I like
when he got on KD Friday.
Yeah. He does it.
Yeah, he deserved that. KD deserved that.
You know, and Undisputed is taking away Stephen A's a lot of Stephen A. Smith's viewers. That's the thing. Mm-hmm. I'm surprised they even gave this motherfucker a contract extension in a contract boost. You know what I'm saying? Because Undisputed is killing the motherfuckers, man. Real talk.
Yeah. I'm glad Skip decided to do his own thing. He had to ask Shannon. Because I forgot who they said or who originally was supposed to be. But Shannon was the first one to jump on it. No, because Stephen A. was supposed to be originally Stephen A., but Stephen A. backed out and Shannon took it. Shannon talked about it. He mentioned it. It was supposed to be Stephen
A. Yeah, so I respect Shannon Sharp for being one of the few representatives of Black society on live TV. I don't agree with everything Shannon says, but he represents. I'll say that. And then, like I said, if you don't know something about it, he's gonna at least do his research before he makes a comment on it. So,
yeah. And that's the one thing. And then we got some props a while back. That's the one thing people. A couple of my Facebook friends and listen to one of my shows and your show and vice versa. They said that's the one thing that we do that we do. We do our research. No jokes aside. And if we tell you, hey, don't be saying, well, Craig, you need to work for you. Look, man, I ain't got time to hear them jokes. I do my research. And I also have edited memory. I was blessed with a gifted photographic memory. Total recall of everything that has happened. So it doesn't make me crazy. It's just the fact that, but we do our research on a lot of things too. And sometimes we have to backtrack. And then granted, hey, I had to some people that had issues with our show, specifically with mine, like one gentleman did 2 years ago. I ain't gonna talk about that, but let's just say several of my old classmates had to put him in check. They had to put him in check. But yeah, we do our research too.
Yeah. So I research every day, and then I got people outside of this platform I listen to, outside of the LDBC platform I listen to, and I haven't talked about boxing, but I'll get more into that as closer to the big fights are coming.
But yeah, I do my research on everything as much as possible, especially when I'm talking about something, especially when I'm giving an opinion, because one, I don't want to be fake. That's one main first and foremost, and two, I don't want to look like a goddamn fool when I give my opinions to shit. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes people will give opinions to shit and they're not doing all their researches and stuff like that. It's quite a few things that people don't do research on. You know what I'm saying? So, like, case in example, like the Cosby case. If you read through the transcripts and stuff like that, you read through the case, study the case. Even though he was convicted of a crime, that shit does not match up if you really do your research on that shit. And her testimony was very false. But people will continue to say, well, Cosby was a rapist, Cosby did. And they'll go back to an old comedy skit to where he said, I put Spanish fly in people's drinks. Now, let's hold up there. This nigga is on the comedy stage. You know what I'm saying? And then if a person is actually consenting to using Spanish fly, that ain't rape in that case because they're consenting to that. But people take that and say Cosby is a rapist, which they look like a complete asshole. If you consent to anything to like whether it's a drink or a drug or whatnot, and this woman consented to the Benadryl. All he did was Benadryl. They try to make it seem like he used Quaaludes, which Quaalude is not a date rape drug anyway. They used that, but it was really a Benadryl. So my point is, people need to do more of their research before they start popping off at their damn mouth. As before they start trying to look like they're being they're being fair, because you're not. You're being fake. That's what you're doing. So,
yeah, and that's one thing about me. And somebody labeled me one time about me being fake. Whoa, hold on. First of all, what's fake about me? Nothing. I mean, it's just fake. Oh, my bad, y'all. And people, and I tell it like it is, man. Because it's nothing fake about me, and I do my research. Some things, and I'll admit some things that I don't follow on, but then like some people school me talking about creating me pay attention what being said. Now I do pay attention. I pay attention also to the other finer details within the details too that you don't listen to. But I mean out. And in the premise of everything, bro, I mean, you can't say nothing to anybody. So, and it's just the way it's the way it'll work. Like I do my research with sports, like I do my research on sports and everything else. Like somebody wanted to argue me up and down and tell me that the Bulls had won the title back in the 89-90 season. I was like, no, they didn't. Yeah, they did. No, they didn't. I said, I put it like this. They came close. I said, had Pippen not got hurt, they would have won it. They would have beat, that Portland team.
Yeah.
They would have beat that Portland team that year. And really, Portland really wasn't no match for that Detroit team anyway. Really. But they would have beat them. So it is, and like people say, Craig, you don't pay attention, you be oblivious. I don't be oblivious to everything. I do pay attention. I paid attention, be paying attention to folks in high school when, hey, I was even told one time, certain shit. I remember I was told this by he called it, well, he was a teacher, God rest his soul. Coach Cunningham one time. He had a nerve to tell everybody, y'all supposed to be, like they say, it's supposed to be said, children supposed to be seen, not heard. Which to me and parents, if you still telling your child that, you full of shit. And that's why there's a lot, that's why I said if parents still tell their child that line, that a child should be seen, not heard, y'all are full of shit. Because, and I'm gonna tell you why. We wouldn't have a lot of mentally unstable children today that are being sexually abused. verbally abused, sexually abused, touched inappropriately. Little boys getting pumped in the back by other men. Little girls getting pumped by grown ass men old enough to be their daddies. And if you still telling your child that line on behalf of Jimmy J. Smooth and his listeners and his followers and everybody else, I would do my damnedest to make sure both of my feet go straight in your ass and out your mouth, and I'm gonna make sure and do my damnedest to make sure that my whole body coming out your mouth. If I hear you tell a child that. So, it is, but it is what it is on that, man. That was just a little bit of commentary I need to throw in there, but that's it.
All right. So you ain't got anything else?
That's it, bro. That's it, man. Because I'm about to getting ready to get on down myself.
Okay, so once again, this your boy, live and direct in full effect with my boy out the 662, and I'm from the 832, and y'all already know how we do, man. We're going to get back on this hoe later on, man, so we'll talk to y'all later, man. Peace out.
The pleasure has been all y'all's.
Yep. So it is what it is, man. Great show, bro. Great show.
Appreciate that. Yes, sir.